stock market has hit record numbers, as you know, and there has been a tremendous surge of optimism in the business world, which is, to me, means something much different than it used to. It used to mean, oh, that's good. Now it means that's good for jobs. Very different. Plants and factories are already starting to move back into the United States, and big league, Ford, General Motors, so many of them.
All right, that was the president earlier today talking about jobs returning to our country, and here is more of my interview with the Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan. Are you telling the American people that that agenda, that litany, I'll go vetting refugees, building the wall, repeal, replace, education back to the states, tax reform, all of this is going to be done in 200 days?
The education part may be a little later because we're waiting for Betsy DeVos to put together her plan. So on the education thing and the welfare reform, that's going to be outside of the 200-day window. Inside the 200-day window is the regulatory reforms we talked about. It's the repeal and replace Obamacare. It's the budget. It's the rebuilding of our military. It's tax reform. Those are the things that we're working on, and infrastructure. Those are the things we're working on in this 2017 calendar.
In the equation? Because I think
that's in there as well. I should have said that. We see that as part of regulatory reform. By the way, we've already done a lot of energy independence. The coal regulation that we repealed from the Obama era, that is a huge energy independence move because it's going to bring back thousands of jobs in coal country. We can unlock Western Europe. We can compete with OPEC. And we couldn't get this with Barack Obama. Now with Donald Trump, we can permit those things.
Back to the main list. So in 200 days, you're fairly confident that a budget is going to be passed. I'm going to get to the specifics. Two budgets, which has never happened. That the wall is in the process of being constructed.
Yeah.
We're going to be working on fixing the VA. That Congress will support extreme vetting, and that they'll move forward with energy independence.
Yes,
and Obamacare repeal and replace.
He can do the extreme vetting on his own. So this is a good. The good thing is you have a president that agrees with Congress on doing the extreme vetting.
But in 200 days, you think that's doable?
This is our plan, yeah. And if there's any slippage, we'll finish it in the fall and get it done before the end of the year.
So if I come back in 200 days, you're gonna go, well, I made a promise. We got it.
Well,
because I think this is important.
So here's what I'm saying. We've mapped this out for 200 days. We have a plan to do that. We're on schedule. But if anything slips because of another Supreme Court justice, or a filibuster on a cabinet nominee, that might slip us. But we're making sure that we do all of this in 2017.
Okay, let's go to the budget, which is such a big issue. The president, 7 brackets to 3. 15% corporate rate. I know you prefer 20 because that scores with the
I prefer 15.
It scores.
Yeah, I have to get what we can with the numbers. It's math. It's a math thing.
You support repatriation, multinational corporations. That will be huge. That's a lot of money that can come back into the economy.
Probably about $3 trillion of stranded capital
10%
overseas.
rate or lower?
That's something we have lower in our bill. Donald had 10% in his. It was really close.
Did I make a mistake in my monologue in this sense? And you called me after I was pretty hard.
I heard about your monologue.
Okay, I heard about it. All right. So you called me. By the way, it was pretty gracious of you to call me, and you said you wanted to explain what we're doing. Because, look, I follow the news every day. I talk to people on my radio show. I'm a maniac on Twitter. I have a TV show. And everybody's saying the same thing. What the hell's going on with the Republican Congress?
Let me just get you there.
But here's my thing. Is there a communication problem? Because you're making me feel better today. Because I feel for this long-term, to stop the bleeding, to stop America's precipitous decline, these policies need to be put in place.
That's exactly right. That's why we're here.
Exactly.
That's why Donald Trump ran for president. So here's what we did after this election. We said, Mr. President-elect, before he was president, we agree on all these things. We all agree on what we need to do to save this country. We're conservatives.
And why were you guys so harsh against them?
Well,
not willing to support them?
Get beyond that. And then we said, okay, let's map out our strategy for how to get this done, when to get it done. We all sat for 3 months and worked out that plan for 2017. And that's exactly what we're executing.
Okay. What have you learned about President Trump that you didn't know before, that surprised you? What do you like most about him, and where do you disagree with him?
He's warm, he's personable, he's compassionate, and he likes getting stuff done. I love that about him. We've been waiting for this for a long time. Those of us who've been conservatives pent up here, fighting the Obama administration, the progressive left, he is a conservative, and he is ready to take on these challenges. And so that is what I'm excited about. He moves so fast that people are scrambling to catch up, especially the media. And so I love the fact that he is not in any way shy about getting big, bold things done. He is aggressive about getting big, bold things done.
What do you think of the way the left's reacting? What did you think about the Russian issue that keeps coming up again and again?
Well, I think that it's just like you say. There's nothing new here. You have to remember the Obama intelligence community under President Obama's direction did a huge investigation community-wide about Russia's involvement. There was no evidence presented to Congress that any American, let alone Donald Trump, had any involvement in that. It was all about Russia trying to meddle with our elections, meddle with our country. We knew this. We know this.
Here's my headline out of this interview, that you're in pretty much full agreement with what Donald Trump ran on.
Yes.
And number two, in 200 days, from the legislative side, you are going to be implementing every aspect of that agenda that we talked about.
Yep, and just to
That's a big headline.
And we have cushion in our schedule. If anything slips, because it's really because of Senate issues, we still have time to accommodate all of this stuff in 2017. So I even have safety valves. I have cushions built in the schedule. To make sure this all gets done in 2017,
because I believe in
case something happens and goes sideways on the Senate.
I'm pretty sure that'll stimulate the economy, get people back to work, and get the economy moving again, which I think we need.
That's what we're hired to do.
All right, Mr. Speaker. We'll see you in 200 days.
Yeah, thank you.
Good to see you.
So maybe before that.
Okay, thank you.
All right.